Justin Trudeau was once again greeted by angry protesters while visiting Welland and Brantford today.
I won't back down for standing up for Canadians.
The Liberal leader calling them an anti-vaxxer mob. Tasboga away today. Nicole Martin with us in studio, angry and loud. Protesters screamed about their freedoms and the COVID vaccine during Liberal leader Justin Trudeau's stop in Welland today.
Trudeau called the protesters who have been following his campaign around an anti-vax mob that he won't stand down to. Kelly Patella was there and brings us the latest.
At the gates of Welland's Valbruna ASW steelmaking facility. Protesting COVID vaccines and yelling about their rights being taken away by vaccine passports that have been mandated by the provincial government. This as Liberal leader Justin Trudeau was greeting workers and supporters at Valbruna.
There is a small fringe element in this country that is angry, that doesn't believe in science.
Trudeau has been followed by protesters since the campaigning began, even having to cancel an event for security reasons. But when asked today about them, he says their message is not on par with what the majority of Canadians want.
And I know will not allow those voices, those special interest groups, those protesters who can, I don't even want to call them protesters, those anti-vaxxer mobs, to dictate how this country gets through this pandemic.
The protesters chanted about vaccines being poisonous and then turned on the media who were covering the event.
Fake news!
The wrath of God come upon all evil in Jesus' mighty name.
Others angry because they feel like they're being forced into getting vaccinated.
I'm here to support every person. It's per person, per choice. It's not up to the government. It is up to individual choice.
Liberal candidate for Niagara West, Ian Bingham, who was present today, put out a statement on Friday condemning an attempted assault on one of his campaign volunteers, writing, "We do not need to agree with each other, but we need to respect each other. No one deserves to feel unsafe in their own community."
I can't back down from standing up for Canadians. And I know that our Liberal candidates and Liberal supporters across the country are made more determined.
Trudeau, who was accompanied by candidate for University Rosedale, Chrystia Freeland, today also said that if re-elected, his government would foot the bill for provincial vaccine passport systems should premiers choose to implement them, and reiterated his commitment to mandating vaccinations for those who travel on a train or plane. Kelly Batello, CHCH News.
Is in London, Ontario right now for the next stop on his campaign tour. He's at a local brewery for a quick appearance there, and Sean Cowan is joining the Liberal leader and joins us now live. Sean.
Hey, Nicole, I'm here at the London Brewing Club. Obviously, very noisy. It's pretty loud right here. So I'm inside, and as you can see, as we take a look right over here, Liberal leader Justin Trudeau is talking with people. He's actually been here probably about 30 minutes talking with people. I'm just going to lift up and have it take a look. So he's been here chatting with people, a lot different than a little bit earlier in Brantford when I was there. He was greeted for about 200 protesters. They were shouting. They were pretty peaceful. They didn't have any big signs, but they were really loud and they booed him when they got on the bus. But here in London, Justin Trudeau has been here chatting with people, and actually the protesters, just about 20 to 30 of them showed up probably about 10 minutes ago or so. There were no protesters here when he got off the bus. So really it's kind of been a campaign stop here, chatting with people, really talking. As you can see, a lot of people here are having dinner, they're drinking beer, because this is a brewing co-op. Everybody who works at this co-op is an owner, and Justin Trudeau took some time to speak with the owners, speak with the staff. He had some beers. He's actually walking around with his beer in his hand right now. So probably about 200 people inside right now, and I would say outside there's probably about 20 to 30 protesters. I'll send it back over to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. On Sean Cowan in London, Ontario, taking a look at Liberal leader Justin Trudeau. All right, in Ottawa.
To the federal election now, and all three main party leaders were campaigning in Ontario today.
And on this Labor Day, the candidates targeted workers, pitching better conditions and benefits. CTV's Heather Butts has the details.
How has the pandemic year been for you guys?
Liberal leader Justin Trudeau is among those trying to win over workers with today's messaging, pledging to help create more jobs and support employees when they're sick.
We're stepping up once again in the federal sector to mandate 10 days paid sick leave. And we're also going to work with the provinces because obviously the federally regulated sector is only a fraction of the workforce.
Trudeau is also promising to extend the Canada Recovery Hiring Program to March 2022 so businesses can hire more workers, expand the Canada Workers Benefit to support 1 million additional low-wage jobs, and table legislation to provide legal protection for businesses requiring proof of vaccination. Trudeau's mandatory vaccine policy for federal workers and travelers continues to fuel protests, dogging the Liberal leader throughout the campaign.
How y'all doing? You good?
O'Toole says that will put at least $2,000 into the pocket of everyone earning $12,000 to $28,000 per year. That's the equivalent of at least $1 an hour raise. The Conservatives also say they'll double the disability supplement from $713 to $1,500. This will be a pivotal week for leaders with a pair of televised debates starting Wednesday. Voters head to the polls in just 14 days.
All right, that's a little bit of the news, quote, news coverage that came out today. And then this just in from CTV News World. I have not watched this yet, but you can check it.
Liberal leader Justin Trudeau taking aim at the Conservative leader for changing his stance on assault-style weapons.
He's trying to squeeze through a position where he made promises to the gun lobby to reverse this ban. And now the Canadians are rightly outraged that he wants to bring back assault weapons. He's trying to figure out how to please everyone.
Trudeau also says the Liberals would extend the Canada Benefit Hiring Program and they bring in legal protection for businesses asking for proof of COVID-19 vaccination from staff and customers. A lot to unpack here. Let's go to CTV's Annie Berger-Oliver. She's traveling with the Liberal campaign and is in London, Ontario. Annie, I know more protesters have been dogging the Liberal leader. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we've been to 3 events today, and so far there have been protesters at every single one. This one behind me, you can see there are some people has really only popped up in about the last 20, 25 minutes or so. When our media bus first pulled up, there was nobody here. It was all quiet. There was one supporter who was wearing a PPC sweater. And then, within 15, 20 minutes, there's all those people behind me. And this is largely going through social media. There are Facebook groups. A lot of it is sharing on Twitter. A lot of it is just people texting each other. And, this one is actually relatively calm in comparison to ones we've seen earlier. When we were in Brantford this morning, there were at least 100, if not more, people there chanting and screaming. I even heard one man say, "Let's get out the guillotine." So these are very angry, very frustrated individuals. A lot of them are mad about the vaccine passports. A lot of them are mad about mandatory vaccinations. And we actually asked Mr. Trudeau this morning about this, how he sort of felt and why he was still continuing to bring, his staff members, his RCMP to these events, including his supporters. And Mr. Trudeau said that he didn't even want to call these individuals protesters. He called them anti-vaxxer mobs. And he also said that he doesn't want to let them win. He is going to continue standing up and fighting for Canadians. And Mr. Trudeau said he doesn't want what he calls this anti-vaxxer mob to, quote, dictate the future of Canada.
All right, Annie, let's talk a little bit about vaccines because Trudeau is also pitching protection for business owners who now have to ask for those vaccine certificates so that people can come into their non-essential service. How will that work? What more did he say about that?
Well, I'm not exactly sure how it will work, and I think that's maybe one of the problems. As you mentioned, the Liberal leader is pledging to introduce some type of legislation, essentially, that would prevent businesses from being held liable if they want to implement a mandatory vaccine or mask mandate. Now, I think this is really targeted, at least from talking on background sources, it is targeted at provinces who don't want to implement any type of vaccine passport or mandatory vaccine. And so there's a risk that businesses may feel that if they're doing something that their own government is not doing, that there could be a risk. So that's sort of what they're targeting. And in fact, one background source I was talking to when the Liberals released their platform last week, because of course this detail was in it, highlighted to me the Florida situation, where the Florida governor has said absolutely no masking. You can't make that mandatory. You can't make vaccines mandatory. But there are some businesses who want to, and now they're facing some repercussions for that decision. So this needs to be ironed out a little bit. It seems very complex, but essentially the government says, the Liberal leader, I'm going to get used to it. I've only been on the campaign for one day. The Liberal leader is saying that, they don't want a business to suffer or to face any type of financial consequence for making masks or making vaccines mandatory in their premises.
CTV's Annie Bergeron all over in London, Ontario. Annie, stay safe. Take care of yourself.
Annie Bergeron. It's not the government. The parliament is dissolved. The government, there is no government, the Liberal leader. I've been on the campaign trail for only one day. Oh, come on. Okay, so here's what the liberal media. Yeah, the liberal media, basically. Mainstream media. Okay, so here's the deal. At 9:30, Rob Primo, who was just on the show, did an interview with me quickly. He was part of organizing a protest, a freedom celebration in Welland, okay? And he was successful. A few hundred people at least showed up on the front of 300 Prince Charles Drive in Welland. My old haunt. I went to high school in Welland. I went to high school in St. Catharines too, but kind of a transplant. North End brat, but transplanted to Welland for my high school years. A lot of my good homies are still there. I got a lot of good memories from Welland. A lot of good men I know from Welland. Good women, too. Just a couple of good women. So here's what they do. I just showed up to film. I'm not a protester. Do you see me in any of these cuts? I'm not looking for the camera. Okay, so I get talked into it. I talked myself into it. I talked a friend of mine into it. She was unsure whether she was going or not. I'm like, I think you should be there. I go, I'm showering. I'll call you when I'm done. I text her on the road. If I don't hear from you, I'm going straight there. So I go straight there. 9:30, pretty much I show up. Tim Hortons down the street. I got to talk to a bunch of people I don't know that know me, which is cool. Hey, Jim, what, I interview people. I'm a media guy. So that was nice. They head over just before 10 o'clock over to 300 Prince Charles Drive. The Quality Comfort Inn. What is it? I don't know. But the feds are crawling all over the place. We think an event is about to happen there and Trudeau's coming there. No, he was already there. Maybe he stayed the night. I don't know. Maybe he hooked up an 8-ball. I don't know. But instead of showing up to the hotel where there was 3, 4, I don't know how to gauge it, maybe 75, I don't know. A few hundred, I would guess. People peacefully protesting. PPC signs everywhere. People dressed in purple everywhere. Chanting, yes. Lock them up. Whatever they were chanting. It wasn't too much rudeness. A couple guys took the megaphone and they had, foul language. But not much. Not much. This was a peaceful gathering of people waiting for Trudeau to show up. So what happens? Trudeau pulls out. And I'm almost there. Look at this. Let's refresh it. 583. 3765. Oh, I gained 2. Okay, good. I need 1,000 subs and I need 4,000 watch hours, and then I'll start making money again. I know. It's not your problem. I have 600 notifications on my YouTube channel. Okay, since I left the house today, 600. That's not me. That's not me. My channels aren't that good. 17,000 views in 6 hours. 17,192. 18,446. So it's slowing down. Share the shit out of this. Here it is right here. You can see it at the top. It's on my fake book. Trew.Tube, where you're watching me right now. Share it. You're welcome, Danielle. Slavic Bower. Brad Davies, what up? Jenks, what up? It's been a busy day. So I'm showing you the back end of my thing here, but oh no, you don't want to see this one. This is the one right here. If I go to my channel, no, I get lost. I always have to do it this way because I'm not smart. You're not smart. Stop talking. 15,654 views 7 hours ago. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, so this is the peaceful protest. Again, I don't protest. I'm not that guy. I mean, until now. What up, Jenks? I don't fly the fuck Trudeau flag. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it if I had one. But I'm just not that loud all the time. I come here. Yo, what up, Truthway? I come out here and vent and do shows. So here is the peaceful protest. These guys could easily block the street and fuck everything up. Okay? They could easily be violent, but they're not. We could have easily walked up to the door of this hotel. There was nothing stopping anyone from going to the door of this hotel, which is where I should have been, so that I could have seen Trudeau come out, get into the SUV, and take off with his feds. He's got a detail. He must have 150 people with him. Like the bus, the RCMP detail, and then the NRP detail is massive. There's guys walking around all over the place. So you can see this, and I'm going to play the sound for you. This should be in 4K, I think. This is the video that's kind of blowing up right now. A lot of people stopping, honking. You know, it's not shoulder to shoulder, but there's got to be a few hundred people, and they're still coming, as you can see. My buddy, right at the beginning of this video, there's Woodnuts right there. Woody, what up? He screamed. I didn't realize this, but at the beginning of the video, you hear, Bannon! That's Woody right there. My boy, John Fournier, Adam on Facebook. Okay. That guy right there ended up going to Salad Steel. He works there. Or it's not Salad Steel, wherever the manufacturing place was. Look at all the PPC signs. And over here you see a little bit more, I don't know. And there they come. So we think he's coming there for an event because that's what the news drop was yesterday. But he was there the whole time. And these guys honk at us as they go by. Trudeau's in the second car. In the second car is the one blasting the horn. That's him. He's leaving. Now, no one knew this. He's going to the old Atlas Steel in Welland. So they're actually cheering him because the SUV is honking at them. They don't know that the SUV is basically saying, fuck you, we're out of here, and you have no idea where we're going. It was not even 20 seconds after this. That everyone said, Salad Steel. Salad. It's not Salad Steel anymore. Salad Steel was, fuck. It was down on Ontario Street, wasn't it? Ontario Road? Anyways, wherever the hell they went. Center Street. Everyone's saying Center Street, Center Street, Center Street. And as we're driving, I picked up with a guy that walked up to me and said, Jimmy! Kreitz, what up? Frankie Kreitz. A good man. And I don't think I should have any problem calling him out. Kreitz was there. Maybe he doesn't want me Saying maybe he's going to be unemployable like me now. I walked by to get this shot. I walked by his truck. I didn't recognize him. His girlfriend's sitting in the box at the back. I walk around her, and I just stand behind the tailgate, and I start taking this shot. What up, Swayze? It's been a long time, brother. Next thing you know, Kreitz walks up to me. He's like, Jimmy, I still didn't know exactly who he was. I haven't seen Frank in a while. I thought it was him. And so the crowd says, Center Street, we're out. We're gone. See ya. And everyone starts fucking leaving. I can't even believe it. This is not my thing. I don't do this. So I go to Kreitz. I'm like, dude, I'm with you. My car's like way the fuck over there. I walked here. He rearranges his back seat beside his 2-year-old daughter. Gorgeous. Jeez. If I was only 50 years younger, we would be rolling. I'm not going to say her name. Fucking gorgeous. And she was wide awake the whole way. We made it down. Okay, so I'm blathering. Here's what the mainstream media does. Okay, they missed this part, the peaceful part, the chanting, the singing, the "Oh Canada." I got it taped. I can show it to you. But they chose to show video of what I just showed you, which is at almost 2 p.m. Now, we've been there since 9:30. This was around 10:30 right here when they left. We went down to the old Atlas Steel in Welland and waited at least 2 hours. Nothing. Well, he was still doing a press conference, and I played some of it earlier today. It's an hour long, which is good. He took questions. He didn't answer any. Accessibility is good with your politicians, but it's campaign time now, right? You remember when Trump used to come out during the pandemic, during COVID, during flu season, and do like an hour press conference and take another hour of questions? It wouldn't be unlike Donald Trump to stand there for 2 hours and face the media. Well, this guy never did that until now. Now he loves the camera, and now he gets frazzled. You know what he referred to? So my point here is the media chose to wait to show you the extreme view. Oh, yeah, I take a lot of time for a girl that's saying, God's going to come and get whatever. Like, that's not me. I don't press my religion on people. This has got nothing to do with religion. This has got something to do with tyranny, okay? So what they did is they waited us out. They divided us up by thinking, oh, we got to cover all the entrances. I was standing with a guy that worked at the place. He's like, I didn't get an invitation to the place. And oh, by the way, there's no other way out of this compound. Unless they drive across a scrapyard, that bus is coming out this gate. And we still left. We walked away. I was, again, my back is chewed. My battery's almost empty. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm not pleased. I want out of here. So finally, we were one of the last 100 people there. There was a few hundred. Well, I don't know. There's a few hundred here. At least 80% of these guys showed up down the street at Atlas. There was a big crowd, man. They were walking in there forever. But Trudeau, he stretched them out. He waited them out. And then just before 2 o'clock, now keep in mind, we've been there over 2 hours, probably 3 hours. We left this place right here in Welland, the Best Western Plus Comfort Inn, whatever the fuck. Best Western. It's not the Comfort Inn. My bad. We left here around 10:30, 10:40. Which means, let's say we got to the old Atlas plant, the old Atlas plant at 11, let's say. It was almost 2 o'clock when that bus and the SUV and the RCMP detail and the snipers, they had 2 sniper trucks. The guys were stationed on the roof. If you see my Twitter feed at Team Niagara, you see the pictures of the snipers. They were coming up to the fence and filming everyone. That's fine, whatever. At the end, excuse me, I got to get out of here. My head's ringing. Yeah, I was fawning over a 2-year-old. What the fuck? She's beautiful. Fuck you, Slavic Boer. O'Toole is a decaffeinated Trudeau. Yes. What up, Shandor? That YouTube videos has a ton of comments. I haven't even gotten to them yet. Pretty good footage. Thanks, Truthway. Jenks, beer tomorrow. Yes, definitely. Swayze, what up? Swayze beats Skins. I was going to say for a living, but I'm not sure if it's his actual job to beat Skins. Yes, Frankie. What up, Swayze? So the mainstream media waits until there's 75 people there. What up, memes? And then they take a picture. I love Matthew, but come on. Why not interview some of the reasonable people that were there early in the morning? Why not show the big crowd? Why wait until it all peters out and then take film of the most radical, diehard fucking protesters going? No offense. I was still there. And then portray them in a light that makes it seem like they're all crazy. Speaking of crazy. So that's what went down today. So thank you for the subs. Thanks for pushing this out. It's been a wild ride. A 586. Come on, man. You can do better than that. 586. Okay. Well, you can't see that. Trew.Tube is the channel. I also have the Jim Fannon Show. That's channel 8. Channel 9 is one called You've Been Duped. And then I have another one called Jim Fannon, and it only has one video visible now, but the whole library of the work, all the work I've ever done on terrestrial radio or here in the cellar, will be on the new channel that's coming up. Trew.Tube to stay in touch. We're tweaking it. It'll be ready soon. Gavin McInnes at Censor.tv. I want a job. And Matt McPherson on the way out is only one of my few buddies that will let me use his music. If you have music, I will pick you up. And is not afraid to be Jim Fannon adjacent. My reward is pimping you hard. Matt McPherson, want some? I am out. The TJ sucks in this house. I need a producer. I need a guy that knows WordPress well. I need a hand. We're putting a team together. It's shaping up kind of nicely. We want to include you if you're rabid and politically addicted. Shoot me a message. Okay, this time I am out.
Shut up. I'm gonna come. I'm furious. I am beyond angry. Shut up. Just gonna send it. I will eat your ass.
I support all that shit. Do all that shit.
And then they eat the poo-poo. To be fair.
I'm getting bored. Stop talking.
Shut up.
I'm getting bored. Stop talking. I'm getting bored. Stop talking.
Shut up. I'm gonna come. I come really, really hard. You're cool.
I felt worthless. I felt ugly. I felt gay.
I feel like I'm a toad. The fag capitals in the world.
Just take it nice and easy, okay? Just relax.
Make them say yes.
I hate it.
I come really, really hard. Shut up.
Will convert.
I'm gonna come.
The hell are you? The hell are you talking about?
I'm gonna come. Look at that beautiful, beautiful bird.
I felt worthless. I felt worthless. I felt worthless. I felt worthless. I felt ugly. I felt gay.
Shut up. I will eat your ass. To be fair.
Homeboys get that like, get it.
I'm getting bored. Stop talking.
Enough haberdashery and flim-flamming.
And then they eat the poo-poo. And then they eat the poo-poo.
Good night now.
And then